There's a quiet, invisible line inside every person, the line that separates who you truly are from what the world tries to make you. Most of us cross it and don't even know we're doing it. They bend, they shrink, they pack themselves in order to be accepted, liked, or approved of. It starts small. You let someone cut you off and laugh about it. You co-sign something you don't agree with, just so you don't rock the boat. You tell them it's okay when it's not okay because you don't want to be a bother. Over time, this habit becomes a way of living, and before you know it, you're not living for yourself anymore. You're living for everyone else's comfort. The Stoics warned about this long before our time. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own. On one hand, we claim to value ourselves. On the other, we hand over our self-respect in exchange for the smallest crumbs of approval." Think about it. How many times have you walked away from a conversation replaying what you should have said? How many times have you felt the sting of being disrespected, but swallowed your words because you didn't want to be that person? This is where the problem begins. When you lower yourself, when you pretend you're smaller, weaker, or less capable than you are, you teach the world how to treat you. And the truth is, the world rarely treats you better than you demand. The Stoic path is not about arrogance. It's not about becoming cold or untouchable. It's about becoming rooted in who you are, so deeply that no one can pull you down without your permission. Being important in life doesn't mean being famous or rich. It means living in such a way that you matter to yourself first. It means having an inner code that you will not break. Not for love, not for money, not for belonging. And here's the hard truth. The moment you start lowering yourself for others, you stop respecting yourself. And when you stop respecting yourself, you invite others to do the same. The Stoics understood this as a matter of virtue. Epictetus taught that you should never trade your integrity for anything that doesn't truly matter. If something costs you your self-respect, it's too expensive, no matter what it promises in return. So, in this video, we're going to explore 5 Stoic lessons that will help you never lower yourself again. These aren't vague, motivational phrases. They're practical, clear, and deeply human truths that you can use in your own life starting now. You'll learn how to hold your ground without being aggressive, how to value your own voice without needing constant validation, and how to become a person who commands quiet respect. The beauty of Stoicism is that it doesn't just tell you what to do, it teaches you why it matters. Because when you understand the philosophy, you realize this isn't about winning in social situations. It's about protecting the most important relationship you will ever have, the one with yourself. I want you to imagine just for a moment a version of yourself who never needs to explain their worth. Someone who doesn't shrink when challenged. Someone who can be silent when needed, speak when necessary, and walk away when respect is no longer on the table. That version of you is not a fantasy. It's a skill you can build, but only if you stop lowering yourself and start living according to a code that no one else can rewrite. By the end of this video, you'll have 5 clear lessons from Stoicism that can anchor you in strength, dignity, and inner importance. These lessons aren't about impressing others, they're about commanding respect by never betraying yourself. And remember, the respect you give yourself sets the price the world has to pay to deal with you. So before we begin, I want you to commit to something, not to me, but to yourself. Commit that from this day forward, you will no longer make yourself small for people who would never grow for you. If you're ready, stay with me until the very end. Don't skip a single part, because each lesson builds on the one before it. And if this message already feels like something you needed to hear, then like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone who's been giving away their self-respect, and subscribe to the channel so we can walk this path together. If you're with me, leave a comment saying, "I am claiming my worth today." Number 1. Stop explaining yourself to everyone. One of the quickest ways people lower themselves without even realizing it is by over-explaining their actions, their decisions, and even their dreams. It might sound polite or like you're just trying to be understood, but here's the truth. When you constantly justify yourself, you're giving away your power. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught that, if you wish to be a writer, write. He didn't say, if you wish to be a writer, explain to everyone why you're writing so they approve of you. The Stoics understood that our actions should speak for themselves. The more you explain yourself, the more you invite people to poke holes in your reasoning, to challenge your motives, and to plant seeds of doubt in your mind. Over-explaining is often rooted in insecurity, the subtle belief that your choices aren't valid until someone else agrees with them. It's lowering yourself to the point where you're seeking permission to be who you are. But when you do this, you're handing over your authority. You're telling the world, I don't fully trust my own judgment unless you validate it. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Not everyone will agree with your decisions. Not everyone will understand them. And that's okay. You don't owe your life to their understanding. If someone doesn't like what you're doing, that's their emotional work to process, not yours to fix. Think about how much time and energy you waste trying to justify your path to people who aren't even walking it with you. You explain why you left a job, why you ended a relationship, why you're changing your lifestyle, why you're pursuing something new. And yet, half the time, the people you're explaining yourself to wouldn't even be there if you fell. Stoicism teaches that peace comes from focusing on what's within your control, and other people's opinions are not within your control. Every moment you spend trying to make someone understand you is a moment you've taken away from actually living your truth. When you stop over-explaining, you're making a statement. I trust myself enough to move forward without your approval. That's a powerful form of self-respect, and it doesn't require arrogance, just clarity. You don't have to be rude. You don't have to push people away. But you do have to realize that your life is not a courtroom where every decision needs to be defended in front of a jury. Look at the people who carry themselves with quiet confidence. They don't flood you with reasons for why they're doing what they're doing. They simply act. And because they act without explaining, people naturally take them more seriously. It's important to understand that over-explaining isn't just about talking, it's about lowering your position. Imagine you're in a meeting and you present an idea. If you immediately follow it up with a dozen justifications, it communicates that you're unsure. But if you present it simply and leave it at that, you project certainty. Here's where Stoicism makes it simple. Know your values. Make your choices based on those values. Let your actions speak louder than your explanations. When you're grounded in what matters to you, you don't feel the need to broadcast a defense for every choice. People might still judge, but their judgment will bounce off a stronger version of you. The next time you feel that urge to explain yourself to someone who doesn't need an explanation, stop. Ask yourself, is this person's understanding necessary for me to move forward? If the answer is no, then your silence will be more powerful than any explanation you could give. Seneca once said, associate with people who are likely to improve you. Notice that he didn't say, associate with people who always understand you. Not everyone will get you, and they don't have to. What matters is that you get you. The person who constantly needs to explain themselves is a person who has handed over their sense of worth to others. The person who simply acts with conviction is someone who is already important. Not because people say so, but because they've stopped living for outside approval. If you want to never lower yourself again, start here. Cut down your explanations. Speak when it's necessary. Stand by your decisions without needing an audience to cheer you on. Your life will instantly feel lighter, and your presence will feel stronger. Remember, important people don't talk about being important. They live in a way that makes it undeniable. Now, take a moment and type this below if you're ready to trust yourself more. I no longer explain my worth. Number 2. Never compete for someone's attention. One of the most damaging ways we lower ourselves is by chasing after people who don't value our presence. This could be in friendships, relationships, or even professional spaces. We find ourselves working overtime, not for our goals, but just to get noticed, just to be chosen, just to feel like we matter to someone. The painful truth. When you compete for someone's attention, you are silently telling them that their approval is worth more than your dignity, and once you set that tone, they will believe it. The Stoics had a sharp perspective on this. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If your thoughts are constantly wrapped around, how can I get them to notice me? How can I prove my value to them? Your actions will reflect desperation, and desperation is the fastest way to be seen as less valuable." Here's the thing, genuine respect and connection cannot be forced. If someone sees your worth, they will act accordingly without you having to jump through hoops. If they don't, your effort will never be enough, because they're not looking at you through the lens of your true value. When you chase attention, you're placing yourself in a mental auction where your worth is up for bidding. You're giving someone else the power to decide if you win or lose, and that's dangerous. The Stoics would say that you are allowing what is outside your control to dictate your inner peace. And here's the trap. Sometimes you do get their attention for a moment. They might suddenly respond, show interest, or give you praise, but it's temporary, because the foundation isn't respect, it's your constant effort. The moment you stop trying, the connection fades, and you're back to chasing again. This cycle is exhausting. It also teaches you to measure yourself by how much attention you're receiving instead of the value you bring as a person. The Stoic approach? Remove yourself from the competition altogether. Don't even enter the race. If someone is making you feel like you have to fight for their time or acknowledgement, it's a clear sign they don't see you as important as you truly are. Think about the most respected people you know. They don't sit around wondering how to make others notice them. They are focused on their mission, their principles, their growth, and because of that, people naturally gravitate toward them. Attention comes as a side effect of living with purpose, not as the goal. Instead of asking, "How can I get their attention?" start asking, "Do I even want the attention of someone who doesn't value me without me asking for it?" When you look at it this way, the answer becomes clearer. Epictetus taught, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." In other words, be willing to let people misunderstand your worth while you quietly build it. The right people will see it without you having to advertise it. He chooses growth over comfort. He knows that without a purpose, even freedom feels empty. Working on your purpose every day means realigning with your why. It means revisiting your goals and asking, does this make me stronger? Does this align with my values? The Stoics believed in living according to nature, which means living in alignment with reason, virtue, and duty. In simple words, it means doing what you're meant to do, not what's easiest. You don't need to know your entire life plan. You just need to know the next meaningful step. Do something today that moves you closer to who you want to be. Read, build, create, serve. Make each day a brick in the foundation of your purpose. Purpose also comes from struggle. The more pain you've overcome, the more clarity you gain about what truly matters. The Stoics saw obstacles as opportunities for purpose. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action." What stands in the way becomes the way. That means your greatest challenge might be your greatest calling. So if you're lost, don't sit still. Move, try, fail, learn. The path will reveal itself through action, not overthinking. Every day remind yourself, I am not here to drift. I am here to build. Because a man or woman with purpose can survive any storm, outlast any setback, and rise from any defeat. Purpose gives meaning to pain. It turns suffering into strength. It makes you unstoppable, because you're no longer working for validation. You're working for fulfillment. Work on your purpose daily. Feed it, nurture it, protect it. And one day, you'll wake up and realize you've become the person your younger self needed. Close your eyes for a moment and declare, I live every day with purpose and direction. Number 5. Work on your self-control every day. Self-control is freedom. It's the invisible power that separates the strong from the weak, the focused from the lost. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." That means no matter how much money, success, or recognition you have, if you can't control your impulses, you're still a slave. Most people lose themselves not because of failure, but because they can't control their reactions. They explode when angry. They chase every distraction. They speak without thinking, and in those moments they hand away their power. Self-control is the art of holding your ground when everything tries to pull you off balance. It's staying silent when your ego wants to shout. It's walking away when pride wants to fight. It's choosing discipline over impulse, peace over chaos, and wisdom over reaction. Every day life will test your control. Someone will disrespect you. Something will tempt you. Your emotions will rise like fire, and your mind will scream for reaction. But the Stoic stays composed, because the true test of strength isn't how hard you hit. It's how steady you stay when life hits you. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, if it is endurable, then endure it. Stop complaining. That's Stoic strength, not in suppressing emotions, but in commanding them, in choosing not to let the outer world decide your inner peace. Working on your self-control daily means watching yourself in real time. It means catching yourself before reacting. It means pausing before responding. And it means walking away from situations that drain your energy and steal your peace. It's not weakness to walk away, it's power. Because the one who can walk away is the one who doesn't need to prove anything. And that's the mark of true inner strength. Self-control also means mastering indulgence. Don't let pleasure rule you. Whether it's food, entertainment, or attention, learn to take what you need, not everything you want. The Stoics practiced voluntary discomfort, sleeping on the floor, fasting, or enduring hardship, just to remind themselves that luxury is a privilege, not a need. When you train your self-control, you stop being owned by desires. You stop living like a slave to cravings, emotions, and habits. You start living like a ruler of your inner kingdom. Self-control gives you command over your destiny, because the more you control yourself, the less the world can control you, and that is ultimate freedom, the kind that no one can take away. Every day ask yourself, did I control my actions, or did my emotions control me? That awareness alone will change everything. Build your power quietly. Stay grounded when others lose it. And remember, true warriors don't fight everything. They master themselves first. Pause and embrace this thought. I am the master of my emotions. Number 6. Work on your patience every day. In a world addicted to speed, patience has become a lost art. We want results fast, success fast, healing fast. But life doesn't move at the pace of your impatience. It moves at the pace of your growth. Seneca once said, "Time heals what reason cannot." That's not just about recovery, it's about progress. Because some things are meant to take time. Some seasons are meant to test you, slow you down, and force you to mature before you receive what you're praying for. Patience isn't passive. It's power under control. It's standing firm when progress feels invisible. It's trusting your effort even when the results haven't shown up yet. It's continuing to work while others quit. Most people lose everything because they quit too early. They think waiting means wasting time. But the Stoic understands that waiting is where strength is built. Patience teaches endurance. It sharpens focus. It humbles ego. When you rush, you make mistakes. When you force outcomes, you destroy peace. But when you're patient, you allow things to unfold at the right time, in the right way. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "No great thing is created suddenly." He knew that becoming who you're meant to be is a slow process, one built through repetition, not rush. Working on patience daily means embracing the process, not fighting it. When progress feels slow, remind yourself, you're not starting over, you're building consistency. When people don't recognize your effort, remind yourself, you're not doing it for validation, you're doing it for mastery. Patience is also emotional stability. It's learning to breathe when things don't go your way. It's staying calm when life delays your plans. It's saying, "I trust the process, even when you don't yet see the reward." The Stoics practiced detachment from timelines. They didn't demand results. They focused on effort. They understood that impatience is the ego's way of saying, "I don't trust the journey." So, trust it. Every moment of waiting is shaping your strength. Every delay is refining your character. Every setback is building your resilience. Don't rush your growth. Don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 10. Your time will come, but only if you keep showing up when no one's watching. Patience is not weakness, it's wisdom. It's the calm confidence that says, "I'll arrive when I'm ready." Number 7. Work on your silence every day. Silence is a superpower. It's not about saying nothing, it's about saying less, with more meaning. In a loud world where everyone wants to be heard, the Stoic learns to listen. Because wisdom doesn't come from speaking, it comes from observing. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." That means don't argue with fools, don't respond to every insult, don't waste your breath explaining your worth. Silence is not weakness, it's strategy. When you learn to stay silent, you conserve energy. You stop reacting emotionally to nonsense. You stop defending yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. Working on silence every day means training your ego to stay calm when it wants to speak. It means mastering the art of restraint, because not everything deserves your reaction, and not everyone deserves your words. Most people talk too much because they fear being misunderstood, but a wise person knows understanding is rare, and silence speaks louder than defense. Epictetus taught, "Be silent for the most part, or speak only what is necessary." That's not just advice. It's a rule for peace. The less you speak, the less chaos you invite. Silence also deepens thought. When you're not busy explaining yourself, you start hearing your inner voice. You start understanding your emotions, your desires, your direction. In silence you reconnect with your mind, and when you do speak, your words carry weight. Every day practice moments of silence. Don't fill every pause with noise. When angry, stay quiet until the emotion fades. When happy, savor it privately before posting it publicly. When criticized, respond only if it serves your peace. The world rewards noise, but the wise man rewards discipline, and silence is discipline in its purest form. It's what allows you to move quietly, build privately, and let your success speak for itself. Because real power never announces itself, it simply arrives. So, guard your energy with silence. Learn to listen more and talk less, and let your calmness confuse the chaos around you. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I move in silence and let my actions speak. Number 8. Work on your gratitude every day. Gratitude is the anchor that keeps your soul from drifting into negativity. When you forget what you have, you start chasing what you don't need. When you focus on what's missing, you forget how far you've already come. Marcus Aurelius said, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." That's gratitude. Not blind positivity, but the power to see beauty even in difficulty. Every day the Stoic trains himself to appreciate the present moment, not because everything is perfect, but because everything is temporary. They remind themselves, this breath, this sunrise, this peace, they are gifts, not guarantees. Working on gratitude means shifting your focus. Instead of saying, I have to, start saying, I get to. You don't have to wake up early, you get to start another day alive. You don't have to work hard, you get to chase a purpose while others have given up. Gratitude makes you powerful because it makes you peaceful. A grateful person can't be controlled by envy, fear, or greed, because they already have enough within. Seneca wrote, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." And that's the mindset that keeps you centered, no matter how much or how little you have. Each morning take 1 minute to name 3 things you're grateful for. And each night remind yourself of one moment that made you smile. This simple act rewires your mind from scarcity to abundance. Gratitude also softens the heart. It makes you more patient, more kind, more aware of how fragile life truly is. Because one day everything you take for granted will be gone, and gratitude is how you honor it while it's here. The Stoic knows that happiness doesn't come from having more, it comes from needing less. And when you live with gratitude, even the smallest things feel like blessings. So, before you chase your next goal, pause, look around. You've already survived what once scared you. You've already discipline, and discipline is a form of self-respect. It tells the world, I don't need to give you all of me to prove my value. You'll see it in what I choose to share. Another benefit? You gain control over your narrative. The less you give away, the less room others have to control the story about you. You decide what's shared, when, and with whom. This kind of self-control naturally commands respect. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." That's a simple filter. Only act when it's right. Only speak when it's true. Imagine if every word you spoke passed through that filter. How much stronger, cleaner, and more impactful your communication would be. In practical terms, here's how you can apply this. When you feel the urge to speak, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, is this necessary? Is it adding value? Listen actively to others, not just to reply, but to understand. Replace filler talk with purposeful presence. Let your calm confidence fill the space instead of noise. Remember that silence can be an answer, a boundary, and a statement all at once. When you master the art of speaking less and meaning more, you no longer chase influence. You attract it. People will lean in to hear what you say, and when you do speak, your words will have the weight of someone who knows their own value. So, instead of flooding the room with noise to feel important, step into the power of intentional silence. Let people feel the strength of your presence before they even hear the sound of your voice. If you're ready to speak with power and purpose, share below. My silence holds power. My words carry weight. Lowering yourself is rarely a single obvious moment. It's a gradual erosion, a little compromise here, a small silence there, an extra effort for someone who wouldn't lift a finger for you. Over time, those small moments add up, and you look in the mirror wondering why you feel so invisible. The Stoics remind us that importance doesn't come from titles, applause, or being the loudest in the room. It comes from living by principles that you refuse to betray. It comes from carrying yourself with the quiet certainty that your worth is not up for negotiation. Each lesson is a reminder that respect starts with you. If you want others to treat you as important, you must first decide that you are important, and then live in a way that proves it, without ever begging for it. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That's the heart of it. You can't control how others see you, but you can control how you see yourself. And when you decide never to lower yourself again, the world will adjust. If you've made it to the end of this video, I want you to remember, your worth is not something anyone else can give or take away. It's yours to guard, yours to live, and yours to honor. Like this video, share it, leave a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel for more Stoic wisdom.